for our Ambassador Council orientation. We hope that you will join us on our Ambassador Council this year. We look forward to welcoming you all to our group. Times have been a little bit different lately due to COVID, so we've been meeting virtually, and we've been meeting with new members virtually, but I don't think I've ever met any of you, so I want to introduce myself. I'm Sarah Guest. I am the Ambassador Chair this year, and I have been in the Ambassador Council for about 5 years now. I also own and operate a business here in St. Pete called Cyberlicious, and we're a digital marketing and advertising agency, and our goal is to help small businesses use data and analytics and insights to make smart business decisions, and help them kind of organize all their data to be readable and leverage that information to grow their business. So that's a little bit about me. I also have 3 kids. We're at home doing the COVID, like homeschool crap. It's awesome. But I can't wait to learn about you. So I guess maybe we'll kick it off. Suzanne, you're the first one in my list. Will you tell us just a little bit about you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So good morning, everyone. So thrilled to be meeting with everybody this morning. So my name is Suzanne Rupert, and I'm a Loyalty Client Relations Manager with FIS. So you might not be familiar with FIS, but that's Fidelity Information Services. We are the world's largest fintech company in the world. So that's a fancy way of saying we move lots of money, so debit and credit processing. And the team that I'm responsible for specifically is the loyalty team, which is super exciting because that's the platform where everybody earns their points for travel, cashback, and merchandise when you use a debit or a credit card. Our corporate headquarters are in Jacksonville, but we have a large presence here in St. Petersburg, Florida, with an office right off of Roosevelt Boulevard. I live downtown St. Pete. I think it's the most fabulous place in the whole entire world. And the way that I landed here, I've got 2 sons, grown sons, and I'm about to be a grandmother. First grandbaby is due September 28th. So I'm on pins and needles every single day, which is super exciting. And my younger son, who's almost 30 now, he's a chef. And 5 years ago, he was thinking of relocating to St. Pete. So I came to visit. And long story short, he didn't move here, but I did. I fell in love with this place. I was like, all right, you're not coming, but I am, because this place is fabulous. So I've been here for 5 years, and I'm just thrilled to be here. So that's Suzanne in a nutshell.
Awesome. Well, welcome. We're happy to have you. All right, TJ, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi guys. My name is TJ Vogel, and I am a solution specialist with TNT Property Solutions, which we're a residential redevelopment company here in St. Pete, and we buy and sell houses in Pinellas and Hillsborough County. We specialize with distressed property owners and distressed houses, really just, helping people get out of situations, whether it's financial or, they're just too much work. Their house becomes a burden. That's where we come in, and we fix up those houses and sell them to new retail customers, or we'll hold them and keep them as rental properties. So I've been here now for 4 years. I came down here from Iowa, to come to school. I actually just graduated from the University of Tampa, the worst side of the Bay, but happy to be over here in St. Pete now. Definitely the better side of the Bay. So just moved here, technically just relocated in St. Pete in July, and I haven't been happier. So I'm just, really looking to get, acquainted to St. Pete and make some connections and, make this my long-term home. So I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. We call it the sunset side of the bridge.
Yes.
So, but I kind of like yours, the better side of the bridge.
The better side.
We might have to change what we call St. Pete. But welcome to St. Pete, and welcome to the chamber, and we hope to have you join us on our Ambassador Council. All right, Michelle, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, and I'll put my video on. I just came from my exercise, and I never remember to get ready for Zooms. It's like, oh, yeah, camera. So I'm just going to put it on so you can see me, but I don't want to leave it on.
It's okay. Can't be worse than the national. Who was it? There was I think on like a major news station, like a news broadcaster stood up in just his boxer shorts. So can't be that bad.
The Help of St. Pete meeting went a little like that for me. I decided to put earrings in a blouse, and I had shorts that were just much too short and didn't match and looked ridiculous in the blouse. And in the middle of the meeting, they're like, we have to stand up and move around. And then I stood right up and I was like, oh no.
Oops.
Oopsie. So I have on
Well, welcome
today. I learned
safe zone. Welcome.
So anyway, I recognize all you guys from different from the chamber, and even TJ from somewhere, your name, your face, one of our networking things. And nice to meet you, Suzanne. So I own your CBD store on MLK. So you guys probably know me, or maybe. I'm going to be celebrating my 2-year anniversary in November, which is very exciting because 2 years ago we had no idea this kind of business would even survive. And thriving. COVID arrived. It's a challenge, but I'm feeling I have the perspective of this is going to be a really good story. Like, I went through this and look what happened. My business doubled, or I don't know. I don't know the ending yet, but it's going to be a good ending. That's the goal. So working hard. I was born in St. Pete. I went to St. Pete High. I went to St. Pete College. I went to St. Pete Vo-Tech. So I'm pretty St. Petey. I did move away for a long time. I'm not going to tell you all the different years, but it was a while. I didn't really get along with St. Pete when I lived here. I didn't think it was aggressive enough. I moved back. I got older. It got cooler, and we grew into each other. And now it's my favorite place ever. So I love it. So I want to be all kinds of parts of St. Pete. I want to do all the things. And COVID's given me an opportunity to kind of reevaluate all of the way I spend my time and energy, and getting out into the community a lot. First thing I did is I started a different business and said, hey, how are you doing? And can we cross promote? And can I take some of your flyers and coupons and that kind of stuff? Stuff I never took time for on a Saturday to go visit other businesses. I was too busy. So now I think Big Ambassador would be just a perfect way for me to continue doing that in a capacity of, bringing everyone together. And because small businesses, local businesses, just all businesses, in St. Pete, it's really what makes us special, the way that we run business here in the chamber. I got so much benefit out of the chamber that I want to make sure that other people can get the best, get the most out of it too.
Oh my gosh, it's like the perfect segue. Like, Michelle has been ambassadoring and chambering, and that's what we want you all to do. So we'll just get right to it. Michelle, you took your, she's ready to be ambassador chair now.
All right, I'm ready to go. I'll see ya.
All right, so we are going to run through our Ambassador Council Handbook. So currently, our Ambassador Council, we meet, I'll just kind of go real quickly. We meet once a month, and our role is basically to support and mentor new members and existing members, and just help them get the most out of their membership, help them make connections, kind of be that master networker or that master connector that just makes those connections, just like what Michelle was talking about. How are you doing? How's your business? What can I do to help you? Who can I introduce you to? Who do I know that we can feed into your web of contacts? And that's basically what we want all of you to do and support our members. So we won't go through the handbook letter by letter, line by line. I'll just kind of give you the Cliff's Notes version. And if you have any questions, please feel free to interrupt me, unmute, pipe in. This works better when we kind of go back and forth. So don't feel like I have the stage only, because I definitely don't. So, all right. So Ambassador Council Handbook. So what is our mission statement? Basically, what are we intended to do? What does the chamber envision? And what do we as ambassadors envision for ourselves? Basically, to welcome and develop relationships and optimize the value of membership and engagement in the St. Pete Chamber of Commerce among their members. So pretty simple, straightforward. Get people engaged, help them take advantage of their membership, and help them spread the word about how awesome this St. Pete Chamber is. For anyone who's ever been a member of any other chambers, either locally here in the Tampa Bay area, or even in other cities or states, I've heard a lot in my 6 years of being a chamber member, and then 5 years of being an ambassador, how many people have been members of other chambers in other cities or locations across the United States, and the vibe here in St. Pete is just different. And it's also different in that chamber community also. And we want to continue to foster that and nurture that cool, fun, funky, feel. So being an ambassador is really important because you're the first person that many of our new members meet face to face. And as a representative of the chamber, we want everyone to have a really great first engagement. We want them to have a great feel with the chamber, just have a good experience. So what does an ambassador do? We're all volunteers.
Quick question. Are we going to get a copy of this?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
perfect.
Yep, you'll get a copy. What does an ambassador do? Basically, like our mission statement said, we're all volunteers. Like I said, I'm a business owner, but I'm also a volunteer in the chamber. But we help promote the chamber in the business community as well as supporting chamber functions. We expect and encourage everyone to have a positive image, to volunteer. We all are volunteers, like I said, but volunteering can go across many different platforms, not just your engagement with the Ambassador Council, but you can have opportunities to volunteer on other events or other things that happen within the chamber. Some of the quick roles that we have, one of the most important ones right now is calling and visiting or welcoming a new member over a coffee or a virtual call, or sometimes I'll even offer up, hey, you want to go grab a libation? Like we can meet at Green Bench, in the beer garden and 5:30 or 4 o'clock, and have something like that if the member is open to that. Yes, what do you need? I'm in the middle of a meeting. Can you go out and I can help you when I'm done, please?
But where's that little 2-page header link?
I'll find it when I'm done. Okay, go out. Sorry about that. This is real life.
So cute.
Working from home. She's in kindergarten, so she's trying her best.
Adorable.
Yeah. Okay, so what do? We call, we visit new members, we invite them to meet face to face. We want to be their wingman. We'll help at events, some of the signature events that the chamber runs, such as the Good Burger Awards. Yay, we're so excited that those are going to happen December 4th, so save the date. Our annual meeting, the Shuffleboard meeting, the Grow Smarter Summit that the chamber runs. We offer to help work registration tables or greet people. Once we get back into full swing with ribbon cuttings, the chamber and our Ambassador Council has an expectation of having at a minimum 8 to 10 ambassadors at every ribbon cutting to help show our faces and show support, and put butts in seats, put warm bodies in places, and help support our members. Because how important was it for Michelle when she had her Your CBD ribbon cutting and her grand opening to see 50, 60 new faces that she's never seen before, and of that 50, 60, or 100 new faces, 70% of them are all chamber members, and that's what we want to promote, and that's what our Ambassador Council does. Why become an ambassador? Pretty much you all already have that figured out. TJ wants to meet new people, he wants to connect, he wants to plug in. Suzanne said she wanted, to help promote her business and get involved and get to know more people and help people. Michelle, the same thing. So what are the requirements to be an ambassador? Basically, the requirements portion that we're going to review next is what do you have to do prior to being able to mentor or take on kind of counseling and advising a new member. So some of the things that we ask is that you volunteer 10 hours. It says 10 hours a month. I would say that is, right now during COVID times, probably a much higher number than many of our ambassadors time-wise are putting in. But I always say if you were to plug in about an hour, hour and a half, every week, so an hour a week. So about 4 hours a week right now in the current environment or 4 hours a month, I'm sorry, right now in the current environment is probably average for our ambassadors. Maybe even a little on the high end for some of our ambassadors. New member orientation is held the second Wednesday of every month, and we encourage ambassadors to come to that. We've skipped the last 2 months at the chamber just to low registration, and people are just trying to kind of back to school, get the feeling and figure things out. But new member orientation is always an opportunity for you to attend, and encourage all of our new ambassadors to attend if you have not attended already as a member. but also to attend as a new ambassador to kind of get the feel of the program. Because if you're going to be mentoring new members or counseling new members, it's important for you to know what's reviewed at those meetings, so you can always encourage your new members to attend and kind of get them wet and sticky and wanting to go to these events. Ribbon cuttings, I know that, Montana, you can pipe in here too. We've kind of taken a step back from having a ribbon cutting every day like we usually do pre-COVID. This chamber, it was always seemed that there was sometimes even 2 or 3 ribbon cuttings in the same day. And a lot of our ambassadors are missing that engagement and those interactions. But once we get back to that, attending ribbon cuttings, whether they're virtual or in person, and those can all be found on the chamber calendar. We also want our ambassador council to be well-rounded. So if you are interested in any other councils or task forces, we encourage our ambassadors to attend those. So if you're interested in public policy or health and wellness or the advocacy, or if you're interested in transportation or finance even, to join some of those other council meetings over the course of the next couple of months, and just to get a feel for what they're about and what they're like. And if you're interested in engaging on those councils, definitely do that, but at least attend a couple of different types of meetings, because again, our role is to mentor and support new members. So if we all kind of have a good feeling of what some of these other councils are doing, we're better able to mentor and share the good news with new members. Member Appreciation Night, those are now held virtually on the 2nd Thursday of every month. There's also SPYP, St. Pete Young Professionals. TJ, that might be a really good place for you to plug into. St. Pete Young Professionals is almost like a chamber within a chamber. And they attract young professionals in the community. Their age ranges kind of go from about 24 to 40. They don't ID, so you don't have to, if you don't fit in that age demographic, you can still go in. They're still going to welcome you. And they have a great program, and they do a lot of community service. They're really a plugged-in community. So if you have any questions or information about that, you can reach out to me or Montana or Candace at the chamber. The Entrepreneurial Academy or the Ice House is our other awesome things that the chamber offers that you can get involved in. The Entrepreneurial Academy is held out of the greenhouse, and it is hosted by Barry Foster. If you've never met Barry Foster, he's awesome, and you really want to get to know him. He knows a lot of people in the community. He's also a volunteer and owns his own business. He was ambassador chair. He was Chamber's Member of the Year. I mean, he has many accolades, but he's a great guy to get to know. But check in on some of these other events that you find on the chamber calendar, just so that way we can all be well-rounded. All right, goals and duties. Just kind of a quick Cliff's Notes again. The most important thing is that you contact your new member that you have been assigned within that first 30 days of that assignment. And when you contact them, we have scripts for you, and we'll get to all of that and kind of share that in a few more minutes. But just reaching out to them, whether that be phone call or email, get engaged with chamber members by participating in councils, refer the chamber. If you know another business that's not a chamber member, or if you meet somebody that maybe they're not a business owner, but maybe they're really plugged into the community, but they work at a business. You don't have to be the owner. You can just be an employee of a chamber member. Or even if if their business that they work for is not a chamber member, encourage them to join, and their business to join the chamber. Just develop and kind of build those connections in the community, and support the chamber, and just be an advocate for the chamber. We've got through that. Always remember to represent the chamber in a professional and ethical manner at all times. As an ambassador, the most important thing I can say for our ambassadors is that you're always leading with the ambassador or with the chamber first. So anytime that I meet a new member, I always introduce myself as their chamber ambassador. My goal is to help you plug in and get involved in the chamber, take advantage of your benefits, and share what has worked for me and my business. So my business has grown exponentially from my involvement in the chamber, and here's how I did that. Do any of these things that I did work for your business? Here are some ways that you can plug in and maybe get better at marketing, or get better at advertising, or ways that you can meet some of those, influential people in the community. You're having a problem with permitting because you're building out a new building. How can I help you? Who can I connect you with at the chamber? So always leading with your chamber and not so much your own personal business. And if personal business, like Sarah, what do you do? What's your business? Oh, wow, I want to connect with you and learn more about your business. All of that will naturally come over time, right? So leading with the chamber and helping them grow their business through chamber activities, eventually over time they build a relationship with you personally, and then they want to get to know you, and then they turn into a client possibly, or a referral partner where they're sending you new business to your personal business. But all of that will just develop naturally if you lead with chamber always first. It says here that we want you to attend a minimum of 9 ambassador meetings annually. Again, there's 12 months in the year. We have 11 meetings every year. We take off every July for a summer break. We do not have a formal meeting, but we still have socials and things like that in July. And again, our meetings are held the second Wednesday of every month at 8:30. We used to hold them at various locations. Right now, they're all being held via Zoom. Once we can get back to in-person meetings and we're comfortable with that, we will get back to those in-person meetings, and they have been happening in the chamber's boardroom. We would like for all of our ambassadors to volunteer one signature event every year. So those volunteer opportunities, again, start at registration table, passing out flyers, or sitting on one of those planning committees. I was fortunate to get involved with the Good Burger Award several years ago and served on that kind of planning committee, but those are opportunities you can get involved in if you wanted to. But just volunteering a minimum of one chamber event of your time. Volunteer or work at least 6 other events or special projects when needed. Attend a minimum of 2 ribbon cuttings every month is another expectation. Again, like I said, we're trying to get 8 to 10 ambassadors at every ribbon cutting. So with a group of about 50 or 60 ambassadors, if each of us can attend 2 a month, then we can filter and get that 8 to 10 number across the board to help support our new members. If you get any communication from the chamber, we hope that you would respond back to that information or those inquiries promptly. Familiarize yourself with the chamber, with the staff members, and all of that will come naturally in your interactions with the Ambassador Council, because we always have guest speakers at our meetings. So you'll be getting to meet lots of people that are that serve on the chamber's either board of governors or are in their staff. Maintaining member profiles, and we'll get into that a little deeper as we dive a little deeper. This goes over our monthly meetings. Again, I said second Wednesday, 8:30 to 9:45. We do have an ambassador portal on the chamber's website. Let me see if I can pull that up and I'll show you guys where that's at. I can get my mouse to work. There we go. So stpete.com. And their website lately has been taking a while to load. So Montana, you'll have to get on your IT support.
Thanks.
Where is it at? It's under our chamber. It's under councils. Okay, let me pull over my screen so you guys can see my screen, and I'll kind of show you here. Okay, can you all see my screen now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And let me zoom out so we're not so big. I brought you off of my big screen to my mini screen here. Okay, so when you go to the chamber's website, you're going to go to membership, or actually, let me move this. You're going to go to our chamber. And then under our chamber, there is a space for you to go to over here to councils and committees. And if you click on this ambassadors link, it will take you to our ambassadors only portal. And this is where you can find a lot of information about the scripts. Our mission statement is on here, who your ambassador chair is, other councils and committees, ambassadors of the quarter are here, and then there's a login button. Ambassador portal login. So if you click on that ambassador portal login, it is password protected, and the password is the word sunshine.
Adorable password.
We tried. Keep things sunny. So if you just type in sunshine, it should let you in. If you have any trouble getting in, you can contact myself or Montana. We'd be happy to get you all figured out. So there's kind of a picture of our big group of ambassadors. Here's a list of upcoming ambassadors only events. If you wanted to view all the events, you can just push that little button. You can see here is where we announce who our ambassador of the quarter is. And then this just kind of goes through some of the important information about our council. And I'm trying to find, we're also having new ambassador text messaging for anyone who has been getting the chamber's ambassador or chamber only text messages. We're now transitioning to have ambassador only text messages because we found that text messaging is a really effective way of communicating with our group. So you'll get meeting reminders, all kinds of updates. And then here, down here at the bottom, if you all can see the call and scripts, the ambassador handbook, some guidelines, and all types of information are all here on this ambassadors only portal, okay? Any questions about the portal? I know I went through it quickly, but the more you use it, I feel like you'll get kind of figured it out. Suzanne?
Oh no, I'm all set, thank you.
Okay, TJ, Michelle, any questions about the portal? No, okay. Pretty straightforward, but the goal is to just have you have resources here. If you have any questions about membership levels, like what are the benefits of the different membership levels, this is a great resource here. And you can see here what the member benefits are. So all these little check boxes are what they get. So for example, you get business counseling and training workshops at the greenhouse. Everybody, all membership levels. Oops, stop it, mouse. All membership levels 2 through 4 or 1 through 4 all get that. Complimentary ribbon cuttings, everybody gets a ribbon cutting. If you look down here, if you can see that. Hosting chamber events at your location. So if you have a brick and mortar office right down here, you can see that the top 3 levels get that, but the lowest membership level, which is the subscriber level, does not. But being well-versed in these membership benefits is important as an ambassador because, again, you're going to be sharing what are the benefits that each new member has based on their level of engagement with the chamber or the level of their membership. And it's up to us to kind of just help them and guide them and encourage them to get involved using these benefits. All right, so back to the handbook. There's all types of tools. I showed it to you. You can refer back to either this handbook, or you can reach out to me, or just log into that portal. All right, chamber functions. We've gone through what types of functions we would encourage all of you to attend and get involved in. They'll also be reviewed at our meetings every month. At our chamber ambassador meetings, we review what are the upcoming events or what are the current hot topics within the chamber, and we'll kind of coach you and guide you. And then we also, again, send out either email blasts or send out those text message blasts that, hey, did you know there's this event coming up? Reach out to 1 or 2 of your assigned members and get them to join you. Dress code, this is pretty self-explanatory and up to you. We encourage you all to dress business casual, business attire when you're meeting or representing yourself as an ambassador with an ambassador name tag. Not only are you representing the chamber, but you're also representing your business. But for example, if you run a moving company, maybe you come right from work, so you're dressed in your moving company attire. Maybe you own and operate, a strength and conditioning gym. So you're coming in your workout clothes. That's appropriate because it represents your business, right? Maybe you own and operate a yoga studio. So coming in yoga pants might not necessarily be the best way to come to a ribbon cutting, but if you're coming straight from work and that's your business, that's what you do, then that's appropriate. But for example, myself, I own and operate a digital marketing and advertising agency. I might not want to show up in yoga pants. But that's just me, but it's up to you. But pretty self-explanatory for all of us. And if you're going to be on a Zoom call, maybe just remember to wear pants. I don't know. Just teasing, I tease. trying to keep this fun. Ribbon cuttings, most of the ribbon cuttings right now are being done virtually. Some of them are in person. When we get back to in-person ribbon cuttings, typically they are slotted for like a 2-hour time frame, but please don't feel like you need to be there for the full 2 hours. Usually the business owner will start the ribbon cutting, for example, let's say at 5 o'clock, with the ribbon to be cut with Chris Steinacher, the CEO of the chamber, and the mayor at 5:30. So if the cutting time is slated for 5:30, we just ask that you get there, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes before the actual time of the ribbon cutting. But as far as an expectation to stay for the entire 2 hours, you don't have to do that. We just like for us to kind of have a big group together to kind of support them during that initial celebration and the cutting. And then if you feel like sticking around, many of the ribbon cuttings, there's food, there's bev, sometimes there's wine, sometimes there's full bar. If you're going to consume alcohol, just use that at the discretion of yourself, and make sure that you're representing yourself and the chamber, if with an ambassador name tag on, in good light. So up next, we're going to talk about new and existing member calls and visits. So at the the forefront of this handbook, it talked about one of the most important things that we ask for ambassadors is for you to reach out to that new member, right? So the focus is to make a quick phone call and introduce yourself, and tell them you've been assigned as their ambassador, and what can I do to help you. There are scripts in the ambassador portal, calls and script prompts. So here we go. We'll just run through this quickly. So for example, Montana is been diligently working on this new retention plan. So here are some talking points for that very first initial meeting. So here's the first script. Hi there, I'm Sarah, your St. Pete Chamber Ambassador. It's my pleasure to help you get acquainted with your membership. I'd love to introduce myself and get to know more about your business. Is right now a good time for us to talk? And if they say, you know what, no, I'm slammed, I'm the only one in the office right now, then, okay, well, I'm gonna follow up our call with an email. I'll shoot you a couple times when I'm available. Maybe we can get together at that moment, at that time. And then a few talking points. You don't have to follow this script rigidly, but we did find that many of our ambassadors worked better when they had a script and they had kind of like a guideline. But you can feel free to adjust it to your business, or not to your business, but to your personality and what works best for you. And then some talking points for that very first introduction. We'd like to know why they joined and what do they want from the chamber. Not every business joins the chamber for the same reasons, which is why we have all those different membership levels. Some members have no time, but they have a little bit more money to invest, so they would rather invest more money, so that way the time constraints, the chamber takes over for them. So by investing more money, they have more advertising opportunities that the chamber can run for them. Where we have other members that have more time because they're just getting started, or they're in a place in their business where they're in somewhat of a lull, so they join at a lower subscriber membership level. So they join at a lower price point and a lower membership level, and their intention is to get more involved and dedicate more of their time getting involved. So it's a function of time and money, and then also of engagement and value of what they're wanting on that membership benefits page that we looked at over here, right? So here it kind of describes the different membership levels. We have subscriber and Main Street, community and market, community builder, market-wise, and then the community leader and truster and advisee. And all of this, again, can be found on the Chamber's Ambassador portal, as well as on the main Chamber page. All right, so back to the scripts. Some talking points for you all to connect with them. And then there's also a suggestion for a follow-up email, okay? So here's another suggestion for a follow-up email after that phone call or after that initial meeting. So some things that we want to do at that initial meeting is we want to confirm their name of their business, their address, their phone number. We also want to confirm their email. We want to make sure they're listed correctly in our chamber directory. let me see if I can pull up a new member sheet. And this will kind of give you a good visual of what you'll be reviewing with them at this initial meeting. So either you're meeting with them virtually like we are now, or you're meeting with them over the phone, or maybe you're meeting with them in person. So we're going to use these scripts, these talking points, and then let me pull up that new member sheet for you so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Just let me pull it over to the screen. Okay, so here is a new member profile sheet. Okay, so this is a new member that I was assigned a couple months ago, or actually just this past month in September. And this is the name of the business owner. Here's the name of her business. Here's her address, okay, phone. So when I meet with her, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of just run you through, we'll kind of do a role play here. So hi, I'm Sarah. I'd love to meet with you and learn more about your business. When's a great time for us to meet? We actually had coffee at Craft Cafe last week, me and Melody. So what I did when I sat down with her is I asked her if this is the correct address for her business. She said, yes, it is. I said, well, this looks like a home address. Based on what I know about St. Pete, this is her home address. I said, do you want your home address published in the Chamber's directory, or would you prefer to keep that private? She said, I'd like to keep my home address private. So then what I did is I followed up with Montana at the Chamber and just let Montana know via email that, hey, let's be sure that this address does not show publicly in the Chamber's directory. And then I just confirmed that this is the accurate phone number, the accurate email, and the accurate website. So that way when people do search for her business in the Chamber, she can be found correctly. Because you would be surprised at how many of these new members that sign up is that there's a typo in the phone number, or even in the website sometimes there's a typo. And we don't want that. We want to be able to be found, because the Chamber is a business directory that many people use to make contacts and give business to. So we want to make sure you're correct. The next thing that I reviewed with Melody when I met with her is this next section here that talks about business classifications and descriptions. So if we look at her membership level, she's joined at this startup level. Does everyone see I highlighted that in blue? So what I did when I sat down with her is I went back to this handout and I talked with her about, at this startup subscriber level, Melody, you have all of these benefits, okay? So one thing I noticed right away that she was missing out on was her 2 online membership directory category listings, right? So if we go back to her sheet, she's only listing herself in 1 category, clothing and accessories. So when I sat down with her, I talked about, let's see what other category you could list yourself in. She's also an e-commerce building. She does not have a brick and mortar. She's going to be selling all of her athletic wear online. So we talked about, would e-commerce be a good fit for you? And that's what we talked about. And then we also talked about this description and how to, make this description a little bit jazzier. And all of that information is pretty straightforward when you use this as a rubric to kind of help guide you through that first interaction with them. And if any of you have any or need any help or want any guidance on that very first meeting that you have with a new member that you've been assigned to mentor, I would be happy, and many of our other ambassadors would be happy to do it kind of like as a duo. So we'll go together. Or even if you want to shadow myself on one of my meetings, I'd be happy, TJ, Michelle, and Suzanne, to offer that to you, where I'm going to meet with this new member. If it works for your time, come shadow with me, come with me and see how I do it. And we work through it together. So that takes care of kind of the new member profile sheet, okay? So once I know that all this information is correct and I've counseled my member on what their benefits are based on where their membership level, then I either sign off that this is correct or I make changes. Oops. or I make changes. Okay, so for that particular new member sheet for Melody and her business, I made some changes to keep the address private, and there was one typo, and I showed Melody how to make those changes and update that within the members only portal, but I also emailed that information to Montana, because the members only portal that all of our chamber members have access to, they can make those changes to their own profiles on their own. So if I'm doing a face-to-face or even a virtual meeting with them, I'll sit down with them and pull up the chamber's website, and I'll go through the process of logging in to their members only portal with them on their own. And the members only portal has been running a little bit slow the past couple of days. So I teach them how to log in. I take them to this screen. I show them how to log in at that first meeting. I show them what their username and their password is. Your username is your email. Your password is usually the last 4 digits of your phone number. And then I go through all this information with them about how to update their information, how to submit an event, how to add a coupon, how to make a profile update. So for example, Melody, who had a typo in her name and wanted to keep her name private, I would update her profile. And so I go through this portal with them in person, which seems to be a really good practice and has worked pretty well across the board with all of our chamber member or ambassadors that are mentoring new members of how to do this type of thing. It's taken a while to load, but you can play in your own member portal, and that's kind of a really good best practice as an ambassador, is work on your own member listing and figure out how you use this and then share it with another member. Make sense? So that's kind of the best way. And if you do not have access to the members only portal for your business, because maybe you're not the owner or your privileges within the chamber's login portal don't allow you to do that, contact me or Montana, and we'd be happy to go through like a dummy account with you and kind of get you well versed in how to do all this. Any questions? I've gone super fast. I know. Y'all are very quiet. Everybody's good?
I love
All right,
it.
y'all still with me? Okay. On the next page, it goes through basically everything I just talked about and showed you in real time. It lists all of this information. So who's the contact? Do you have any coworkers or staff members that you want to include? Making sure the name, address, and phone number is correct. Making sure that the business information, the physical address, the website, all of that information is correct, which we reviewed when I showed you that sheet. And then here we talked about how Melody's sheet only had one member category listing for clothing and accessories. And we talked about what else could be appropriate for her business. So this page 6 of the Ambassador Handbook just kind of goes through and talks you through like each of those steps that I reviewed in real time with you, but just lists it out. And then when you're finished, like I said, email any changes to Montana. In the handbook, it does say to sign that member sheet and return it to Montana. And over the past few months, we've realized and kind of learned that if there are no changes and everything is correct, just no news is good news. If there are changes or there are anything that needs to be changed, anything that needs to be updated, then email Montana any updates or any changes. And that seems to have been working pretty well over the past few months. So again, we've been working hard on our retention plan over the last few months and trying to improve kind of how the chamber is leveraging the information that our ambassadors have, or that our ambassadors receive and get from our new members. So remember I talked about in that script, what are some good talking points? Oops. Sorry, I'm working in my little screen and I'm trying my best to, I don't want to be in full screen. I want to be little. Sorry, guys. So we talked about the scripts here. Here they are. Can you all see talking points here? No? Can't see talking points? All right, let me go back to share my screen with you. There, can you see talking points now? You can, okay. So have I been moving back and forth and you guys haven't been able to see anything? You have not been able to see anything?
No, we've seen everything.
Okay, okay, good. I just wanted to make sure I didn't goof the whole thing. So these talking points, right? So these are the questions when we meet with a new member that we want to ask, okay? And take notes on or just make a mental note. And then once we get done with that, what we're hoping to be able to do is have our ambassadors, all of you awesome, awesome people, go in to a master spreadsheet. Can you all see the spreadsheet? Yeah, awesome. And we're gonna log that information so that way the chamber can see, and us as chamber ambassadors can see what members are interested in. So on this spreadsheet, which you all will have access to, we ask some questions, and all of these are the same leading questions that are on that script. Why did they join the chamber? What do they want out of the chamber? So here's one business owner who wants to connect with other businesses and network and provide services, okay? What kind of events? This member wants to get involved with networking events. Their challenges right now are revenue and making connections. So if I know that TJ met with Suzanne's Your CBD store, and Michelle at Your CBD store told TJ that right now I need to make more connections, TJ might put that information in here. And then at our next ambassador council meeting, TJ brings that up and starts talking about Michelle and how he met Michelle and he had a face-to-face with her and he tells us more information about her. And if that information is logged here, all of us as ambassadors can leverage that information and use it to make even more connections. Because I may know people that Michelle could connect with. For example, I have a new member that I've been counseling and mentoring who has been using CBD oils in their cooking, right? They've been cooking with it and making spices and all of this stuff. So maybe making that connection between those two members would be helpful. And I would have never known that had TJ not shared the information on a call with all of us as ambassadors or plotted that information in this master spreadsheet. So that's kind of a next step. So we've kind of shifted from taking notes on that hard copy piece of paper printout, that new member assignment sheet, and returning that information to Montana, to asking the ambassadors to take ownership of some of that information, and asking our ambassadors to take ownership of plotting that information in this master kind of spreadsheet here. And just to kind of give you an idea, that information, so here we have on this column here, you have who is their ambassador, who is the member. So Go Union Printing, maybe you have a member that needs printing services. And because Tom, one of our awesome ambassadors, was able to plot this information in, we would all be able to refer Go Union Printing to another member in need. Make sense? Any questions about this? And the more we do it together and work through it together, it gets easier. And it'll all kind of make sense. All right. So back to, where's my mouse? Back to the handbook. Can you all see the handbook? Thumbs up? Okay. So that kind of takes us up to, what are we? We're on, I think, page 7 here of the handbook. So event greeters and assistants. Basically, this is just, if you volunteer to be a greeter or an assistant, here's what you would do. If you volunteer to talk to anyone about the chamber, here are things to know about or things to talk about in the business community. And again, you'll get all of this, a hard copy, so you can refer to it. It's also in that ambassadors only portal, and the password is sunshine. So you can talk about the chamber, things to know about the chamber. On page 8, it talks about all of the different networking events that are available. So this is every event that the chamber does and just a brief description about what that event is. So that way you can share that with new members and you get a little bit more information for yourself if you're new to our chamber and new to our council and you're not quite sure what all to talk about. This year, right now, 2020 is an election year, so there will be a lot of candidate conversations. I'm not sure if any of you signed up for them. I think there's another one today. There's one almost every day this week that you can attend, and the chamber does a really great job of their advocacy group. And our advocacy manager, Matt Lettler, does a great job of making sure that our members have an opportunity, and even just the community, have an opportunity to hear from those people that are running for any offices, whether that be city, county, state, or national, on a national level. In 2016, we had Senator, we had a couple, who's the senator? Oh my gosh, not Rick Scott. Used to be the governor of Florida, names escaped me. But yes, he came to one of the candidate conversations and they try to get a good mix of people so that way we can all learn more. So if you have a member specifically, because this is an election year, that's a lot of what's happening right now. There's also educational opportunities that the chamber offers all of its members as well as the community. Leadership St. Pete, they are currently in their recruiting phase. If you know anybody in your organization or in your business that would like to apply to become part of the LSP class of 2021, they're taking applications now. You can also get education at the Greenhouse, at the Entrepreneur Academy, or Focus St. Pete. Here is a list of the signature events that the chamber runs every year. Our annual meeting, the Good Burger Awards, and the Shuffleboard Tournament. Montana, did they punt the Shuffleboard Tournament this year? They did, okay. So we will not be having a Shuffleboard Tournament this year, but we will be doing the virtual Good Burger Awards. Here on page 10 is a list of all of the different councils and committees within the chamber. So there's different task forces, there's advocacy, there's diversity. If you're interested in the downtown waterfront and pier, I believe that may have wrapped up since the pier is now live and we're no longer in construction, and it's awesome. If you haven't been down there, get your butt down there, especially today. It's gorgeous outside. I think it's the first day of fall officially, and it actually feels like fall. I had my coffee outside this morning and it was wonderful. It's really nice. So more about all the different councils and committees that the chamber has available for you and your members to get involved in. Benefits and membership perks down at the bottom of page 11. First and foremost, the chamber's website is a directory. Did you know that if you were to Google, I'm not sure if this is still the case, well, I'll have to test it, but if you were to Google nonprofits in St. Pete, that the St. Pete Chamber at one point, maybe even still today, was the #1 Google organic result. So if you're a local nonprofit in the St. Pete area, why wouldn't you want to join the chamber? Because if anybody is just Googling nonprofit St. Pete, Florida, because they've got an extra $10,000 or $1,000 or $100 that they want to donate to a great charity, somebody doing good in St. Pete, that the chamber's directory, their listing in that category of nonprofits in St. Pete is a #1 organic listing. That's pretty powerful stuff. So the chamber's website directory is an awesome benefit. It goes through and tells you how to access the members only portal. It talks to you about all the different stuff that you're able to do in the members only portal on the top of page 12 here. It talks about all the different discounts that the chamber offers for our members. These are also available to you. One membership discount that I love, that I take advantage of all the time, first and foremost, obviously, is member-to-member discounts, doing businesses with other chamber members. But that constant contact discount is awesome if your business is not using an auto email responder or organizing your contact list. Constant Contact is a great discount for chamber members. Office Depot, if your business is any printing, you get an Office Depot card from the chamber. And because it's a national program, not just a St. Pete program, I'm not kidding you. You could go in there and run like 500 color copies, color printing, color copies. And I did this for our business for one of the trainings that we were doing. I had a PowerPoint presentation with slides and color that I wanted to print. And I needed to have, we had 65 attendees. I needed 65 copies and it was like 15 pages long. The guy's like, you know, this is going to be like $400. And I told him, that's okay, run the copies. He did everything for me. And when I gave him that card, it brought my total from $400 for printing down to like 150. It was insane, like more than 50% discount. So that Office Depot discount was awesome. St. Pete Store and Visitor Center, love them. Go buy gifts and treats and all kinds of awesomeness from the St. Pete Store. Everyone in there is nice, and very, very helpful. But some of these are some special discounts. Things that you get in the Visitor Center and business referrals. Any of our hospitality members, so anyone in food and beverage or anyone that runs any type of experience that is a chamber member, you can have your rack cards or marketing materials in the St. Pete Store. The St. Pete Store and Visitor Center only refers chamber members. So that's another really cool thing. TJ, since you guys are in buying and selling of homes and real estate, anyone who's looking to relocate to St. Pete might be a good place for you to go in and make some connections. Talk with Shelly. She's the manager of the St. Pete Store, but if you just walk in there and introduce yourself, she'll take it away and let you know how it could apply for you. Michelle, I think too, for your business, the St. Pete Store and Visitor Center, and also the Visitor's Guide and the Relocation Guide are two publications that go out. They used to go out just annually, but I think the Visitor's Guide is now semi-annual, twice a year, Montana, or just once? Visitor's Guide.
We're doing it just once this year.
Okay, so Visitor's Guide is just once. And then the Berg Life magazine is another opportunity that used to just be once a year annually, but is now quarterly and features St. Pete Chamber members. And there's all types of advertising, print advertising opportunities in that, as well as on their online version of the publications. The Chamber's newsletter is another awesome way to leverage some marketing and advertising opportunities for your business. Any events that you submit in the online portal. So remember the online portal that I showed you all a few minutes ago, and it said submit an event. So if you're hosting a grand opening for my business, if I'm hosting an online webinar, or if I'm hosting an in-person digital marketing workshop, I always post those events on the Chamber's portal for my business. And you'd be surprised how many signups I get that are directly linked to the Chamber. And all of those events are posted in the newsletter that goes out to over 15,000 readers, 15,000 subscribers, 15,000 emails that the Chamber has available. That newsletter goes out every Tuesday, and my events for my business can be featured there. So that's another great thing to leverage, not only for your business, but again, to share that with the new members that you're mentoring. And that is all. We're on page 12. What time is it? 11 o'clock, right on time. I know I went through all of this very quickly, kind of probably like blew your mind, exploded with information. But if you have any questions, anything that you're unsure of, or you need more information on, reach out to Montana or myself. My email is Sarah, S-A-R-A-H, @cyberlicious.com. And if you have any trouble spelling that, you should be able to see it right on my name, on my name tag right there. Sarah @cyberlicious.com is my email. So you guys can reach out to me that way anytime. And I'll open the floor to any questions for 1 or 2 minutes. If you have none, okay. If you have some, that's awesome.
Sarah, this was fantastic. Thank you so much. And I would welcome the opportunity to shadow with you when you do your next, meeting with a new member. I think that I would really enjoy that.
Perfect. Yep. I'm going to put you down. I'm going to make a note here. And I'll put you down to shadow me. And I'll email you, Suzanne, and let you know a day and time that I'm going to mentor a new member. And if it works for you, then we'll get it set up.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And like I said, that's open to all of you, any of you that want to do that. Our next Ambassador Council meeting is on the second Wednesday of October. I think that's October 16th or 14th. I'm not sure.
14th.
14.
Yep, 14th. Okay, thank you. Yep. And it'll be a virtual meeting as of right now. So you all will get a link to that meeting, and you will get a list. We usually send out a, kind of a spreadsheet of all of the new members that are going to be assigned, and you have access to that list. And if you see any members that are new to the chamber or new to joining, oftentimes you might know them. They might be your neighbor. They might have their brick and mortar might be in your district of where your brick and mortar is at, or maybe they're a business that you know, or maybe it's a business that you've been trying to like get a contact for, and this is another really great opportunity for you to kind of get past that, I call it the gatekeeper of some of these bigger businesses, or some of the businesses that are run a little bit more of a tight ship where it's hard to get in touch with an owner or the decision maker. But using the Ambassadors Council and your relationship as an ambassador to nurture a relationship all focused on the chamber first, and then over the next several months, use that as an opportunity to then kind of get in contact with the right people to make decisions about your business, either personally or professionally. You can do that as well. So you'll get an email that week of our Ambassador Council meeting. October 12th would be Monday. So I would send out an email with the link for the Zoom call, with a link to that list of all the new members to be assigned, and you can look through that list and see if anything sparks your fancy. Maybe you like to drink beer, and maybe there's a new brewery that just signed up, and maybe you want to make contact with that brewery because that's an opportunity for you to go have a libation afterward. But any of those things you can, and if, like I said, if you have any questions, you can email or call me anytime. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? No? Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Yep, you too. Bye-bye, everybody.